It's already started. We feel the ground shifting underneath us. It has already started. There are 3 revolutions taking place simultaneously right now.
Welcome to Dream Richer. The situation is not looking good for Bitcoin right now. Cryptocurrency investors grew increasingly skittish over the weekend, sending the price of Bitcoin to the lowest level since December 2020. The price of Bitcoin fell 8% to just above $25,000 on Monday. This capped a powerful decline that has wiped 4 to 5% from the world's most popular digital currency this year, and 62% from the peak in October last year. Even though weekend crypto crashes are sometimes followed by a quick recovery. However, some believe that the current environment will make for a slow recovery of Bitcoin. Besides Bitcoin tumbling onto a new 18-month low, it also managed to drag smaller tokens down with it and spurred a sharp fall in crypto markets. And to top it all off, the crypto lender Celsius decided to freeze customer withdrawals. Today, however, Cathie Wood argues what the future holds for Bitcoin and blockchain at large. As she argues, we are about to see 3 major changes enter the market. If you find the video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it.
You have to go back to the early 1900s to see anything like it. You had 3 platforms then. You had telephone, electricity, and automobile. Today you have DNA sequencing, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies. All of them are in exponential growth trajectories, and they are converging with one another in massively important ways and profound ways. And they're going to deliver, we believe, if you just take a look at the technologies themselves, over the next 10 years, we believe the market cap associated with these 5 platforms and the 14 underlying technologies is going to scale at a 30% compound annual rate of return. These are astonishing rates of return. With the way the electrical grid is evolving, we could see Bitcoin mining become a part of that infrastructure, so that here in St. Petersburg, for example, we fill up our energy storage units quite easily because it's so sunny here. The overflow could go to Bitcoin mining, which would accelerate the shift towards renewables because the whole ecosystem will become so much more profitable over time. Well, I think China banning mining was very helpful in that regard.
Yes.
And so the U.S. was the biggest beneficiary of that. I think 34 or 5% of the mining now is taking place here in the United States. And Kazakhstan also. We're seeing people like Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, who both care an awful lot about the environment, trying to figure this problem out. And in fact, what I just mentioned about Bitcoin mining becoming a part of a utility ecosystem came out of research that we at Ark had done, led by Brett Winton, our director of research, and Yassine Elmandra, who is our lead crypto analyst. Working with Square, we were able to dimension how much the solar and wind would proliferate, how much faster it would proliferate with Bitcoin mining as a part of the ecosystem, as opposed to without it. I think that research is starting to bear fruit. We're seeing utility ecosystems, they're getting the plot, and they're looking for new ways to profit. And in the meantime, or in the process, they will be accelerating the shift towards renewables.
Bitcoin has seen and will continue to see massive adoption. This, however, won't come from retail investors. As Cathie Wood argues, the key word to remember is global. Everything happening will occur at a global scale, that major countries will be pulled into the adoption system. For example, Tonga is already lined up as another domino to fall down the route to Bitcoinization. A former lawmaker of the Pacific island nation of Tonga shared a play-by-play approach to adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. In a series of tweets, Lord Fusita, a former member of parliament for Tonga, showed how Bitcoin could become legal tender in Tonga, This was an exact copy of El Salvador's playbook. Hence, we could see Tonga onboard more than 100,000 Tongans onto the Bitcoin network.
3 revolutions taking place simultaneously right now. One is a money revolution. One is a financial services revolution. And one is a next generation internet revolution. So on the money revolution, Bitcoin and Ether to some extent, but Bitcoin, surely it is the most secure network out there, is the first, and each one of these words is really important, the first global, private, decentralized monetary system ever invented. And it is going to have profound ramifications. Just ask the people in El Salvador. And recently, President Bukele of El Salvador had a conversation with President Erdogan of Turkey because they are going through a currency crisis. And so I think the emerging markets are going to adopt this kind of monetary system increasingly because their own monetary systems, very dependent often on the dollar or on the euro or someone else who does not control the population. They would prefer not to be dependent on politicians. This doesn't involve politicians. The second revolution is in the financial services industry. We do believe that DeFi, decentralized finance, is going to usurp the role of most financial services companies today. Most financial services companies are middlemen, and DeFi takes the middlemen out of the equation. And then the third revolution is the next generation internet revolution, and that it does include NFTs. And the way we like to describe NFTs is, again, first, global, another big word, private, rules-based property rights system.
It's clear from Cathie Wood's explanation that Bitcoin and blockchain are here to stay. Not only Bitcoin, but the blockchain at large. The reason for why institutes and countries will begin adoption Bitcoin is simple. It's because low-income countries have long suffered, because their currencies are weak and extremely vulnerable to market changes, and that triggers rampant inflation. This is why most developing countries become reliant upon major first-world currencies, such as the US dollar, to complete transactions. However, reliance on another country's currency also comes with its own set of, often very costly problems. A stronger US dollar, for example, will weigh on emerging market economic prospects. By adopting cryptocurrency as legal tender, these countries then immediately have a currency that isn't influenced by market conditions. To learn more about the latest crypto news, watch these videos here.